Well, good morning, students. This is the last week of school, but we do have a full week. So let's get started as we talk about civil rights. The man in the middle there is Reverend Martin Luther King, who has come to symbolize the progression made in civil rights for the African American community. Civil rights and discrimination. Let's look at these things over. Civil rights and discrimination. Civil rights are the freedoms and protections that individuals have by law, especially those that concern equal status and treatment. The meaning of civil rights in the United States has changed over time as society, laws, and legal interpretations of civil rights have changed. For much of U.S. history, certain ethnic and racial groups, women and others, have suffered from discrimination and a denial of civil rights. So let's get started. Why does it matter? Well, the United States, as most countries, in fact, I would argue that there's less discrimination here, but the United States has a history of discrimination. Separate, uh, people were segregated, and then separate but equal, you could be segregated as long as things were equal, and then finally moving toward equality. And the United States is the most progressive nation in the world in regards to extending and guarding individual civil rights. Um, why has the meaning of civil rights changed over time? Well, that's because our society's ideas about fairness and equal treatment have changed. Uh, so, what are these civil rights? Well, civil rights are the rights that involve equal status and treatment of the right to participate in government. People are treated equally and they all have value. Now, this comes from the idea of Imago Dei, that every person is created in the image of God. And that was certainly true. Our founders saw people as worth because they were created in God's image. But legally, it means the basic right to be treated equally, regardless of race, ethnicity, sex, or other personal characteristics. Every person has the right to be free from discrimination. And discrimination can be defined as the act of treating people unfairly based on their race, their national origin, sex, religion, age, or other factors as well that are beyond these individuals' control. The basic right to equal opportunity in voting and running for political office is also a part of civil rights. Political participation is guaranteed for all American citizens by the law. Quote from the early days, we now recognize that all people in the United States are entitled to certain fundamental rights and freedoms, including many civil rights. Well, how have civil rights changed? People's ideas regarding fair and equal treatment have changed. All men are created equal, we are told in our Declaration of Independence. No, although this idea of men was not just man, but it encompassed women too. But note that women were not included in this statement. And they didn't need to be, basically, to be treated equally. At the time the Declaration was written, society viewed women's participation in government politics as unnecessary. Um, I think it still has the same meaning, all men are created equal. You don't have to say all men and women are created equal. Just knowing that all of mankind is created equal. In fact, in Genesis 1:27, it says, in the beginning, God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And notice that male and females both are considered man. Um, Nevertheless, as the United States was started, women, slaves, Native Americans, or Indians were viewed as unequals without the right to participate in the government. But inspired by the Declaration of Independence, groups have fought for and achieved those civil rights. Legalize is to give legal sanction or validity to. Um, And there was some legalization of prejudice in America, prejudice being a negative opinion formed without just grounds or reasonable investigation of facts. In fact, we were a country that uh, had racism. Racism being discrimination, unfair treatment based on race, is a country of racism. Um, and some would argue that it is still a country uh, where racism exists. I, I would push back on some of that, but nevertheless, we need to recognize that there is a differentiation between people based upon their race and upon gender and things of that nature as well. Okay, so let's talk about this. African Americans were brought to America primarily as slaves beginning in 1619 in Jamestown. They received inhumane treatment. There was violence. There was forced labor, separation from families and culture. It was a bad situation, even under the best of circumstances. But then along came Dred Scott versus Sanford, and that made a bad situation even worse when it prohibited African Americans from citizenship. That, you may remember that ruling from the Supreme Court said that African Americans were property, and they were to remain property even when carried into a free territory. Well, we settled that issue with a bloody civil war that um, almost, in fact, right at 600,000 Americans, black and white, died, ending that question. And the 13th Amendment, following the Civil War, abolished slavery. The 14th Amendment granted citizenship to former slaves. And the 15th Amendment gave African American and African American men the right to vote. But, however, even with these strides, discrimination remained in the form of Jim Crow laws, especially in the South, and threats and physical attacks that were carried out upon people of color. But African Americans were not the only ones who were discriminated against. Native Americans, viewed as separate people, separate from American society, they lost, as the United States expanded, Native Americans lost their territories, and many of them were placed on reservations, which is a large area of land set aside by the government for Native Americans beginning in the 1800s. And then somebody decided that, no, it's not good for these Native Americans. They need to be assimilated into culture, and then began a process of Americanization. But that process was forced. And, for example, some children were removed from families and forced to go into other American families where they were isolated from their native language and dress and religion, such as that. And that wasn't a good situation either. And then the society changed. Asian Americans, Chinese began arriving in the mid-1800s and competed for jobs. But they were built a great deal, especially the western portion of the Continental Railroad. So a lot of Chinese workers coming in. In fact, so much so that there was too many. And so the government passed the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1882 that sought to effectively end Chinese immigration into the United States. Japanese, likewise, had immigrated toward America, and they faced discrimination in the early 1900s, and that kind of reached the zenith with the bombing of Pearl Harbor by the Japanese, and it resulted in Japanese internment. Japanese Americans were imprisoned, about 120,000 Japanese Americans, men, women, boys, and girls during World War II, and 60% of them were American citizens, but they were interned. In Korematsu versus the United States in 1944, that internment was ruled constitutional due to the pressing public necessity. It kind of took the idea of a clear and present danger. So America was in danger of Japanese, and so the Supreme Court ruled that this was permissible for the times. Also, Hispanics have been discriminated against. Why the term? Well, Hispanic is merely a translation of the old world word Hispania, which is Latin, or Hispania, which means Spanish. Um, the Hispanics were also, especially in Texas, New Mexico, the Midwest, or the southern portion of the Midwest, were discriminated against. Women, not a minority. In fact, the women are a majority here in the United States. I think with something like 51%. But they have historically been denied equal treatment. In fact, Bradwell versus Illinois was the court case which barred women from being attorneys. And this idea that legal justification, the court said that there's so much importance in the domestic sphere was the proper area for the woman. In the words of one justice, the paramount destiny and mission of women are to fulfill the noble and benign offices of wife and mother. So they were relegated to that status, and that's an important status. But they should, as society has evolved, change